Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. And I thought I'd start a new feature on my channel called The Hidden Meanings Inside of Brooklyn Movies. So it's like, it will be Brooklyn Secrets, just like I do for other things. But in this case, it's going to be Brooklyn Secrets. These are messages or themes inside of famous movies that were made in Brooklyn that most people miss. So I thought I'd start off with one of my favorite movies of all time. This is definitely a top 10 movie that I'd bring if I was stranded on a desert island. It's Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. So stay tuned. I think you're going to be amazed at this hidden this hidden message that almost everybody misses. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy. So first off, what could we say about Taxi Driver? I mean, the soundtrack is unbelievable. How many awards did it get? It's immeasurable. The scene of Travis Bickle talking to himself in the mirror, how many times has that been repeated or shown or, just copied? Just totally incredible. And it also was a very impactful movie in a sense that, much like Apocalypse Now, which was really the first movie, which was really the first Vietnam movie, not many of us really knew about post-traumatic stress disorder. It was called other stuff, but this was a movie that really introduced that to a lot of us. I mean, I was about 11 years old when this movie came out. And I was actually surprised that my parents brought me to see it. And I remember seeing it at the RKO Kenmore, which wasn't too far from where I bowled, which was on Flatbush Avenue. I bowled on 26 Snyder Avenue. Big shout out to Diplomat Lane's no longer there. But what can you really say about Taxi Driver? Just an incredible movie. So without any further ado, I want to get into the key meaning that everyone misses in Taxi Driver. And the secret is all in Travis Bickle's patch. So in the movie, from the very outset, we find out that Travis Bickle is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. He was in Vietnam, and we find this out when he goes for the job as the taxi driver, and he talks to a guy named Joe Spinell, which was kind of weird because the Spinellas own Diplomat Lanes. It's kind of a weird correlation where I used to bowl, but we find out because he was in the Marine Corps too when he hires Travis, and Travis wears this tanker jacket, and he's got like I assume he doesn't mention what he really does in the Marine Corps. I think it's assumed that he was a recon guy for reconnaissance. But that being said, all throughout the movie he wears this this tanker's jacket, and basically there's a company patch, which all military units wear a company patch. Which is, it identifies their particular designation or their company, or, it's their home unit. So the one that Travis, and I'll put it up here right now for you to see. So as you can see, the patch says King Kong Company. So what it really shows is it's King Kong. Now we all know King Kong, and it's a King Kong with a helmet on, and it's 2 stars on the helmet. And Travis pretty much wears this thing throughout the whole movie. And I think what's interesting about this, and of course, this is, if you look up the movie and you really read a book on, Martin Scorsese's book, or you do some heavy research into the movie, which I have because I love this kind of research, you'll find that there was a lot of things in the movie that, of course, Martin Scorsese is one of the best directors. He put this patch purposely on Travis for a very specific reason. And it goes well back to the original King Kong movie. Way back in 1939 it was made, right? And the movie with Fay Wray. And I'll talk about that. So quickly, we all know in that movie, King Kong is brought from Africa, and he comes by boat. And, he's in the movie. And, of course, he has this... not to say relationship, but, he likes Fay Wray, and he wants to protect Fay Wray and all that. But the theme that Martin Scorsese threw in there, if you remember the King Kong movie, was that in the movie, it wasn't Fay Wray that needed the protection. It was King Kong that needed the protection. So much like, so specifically to that theme, if you read Martin Scorsese's book or you read up on the movie, you're going to find out that, now, of course, the King Kong Company is a fictitious company. It's not a real Marine Corps unit. This is something completely that Martin Scorsese thought up on his own, which I thought was ingenious. And So basically, when Robert De Niro or Travis Bickle is in the movie and he's trying to save Iris, uh, essentially what's being said is that he is the one that needs to be saved. I mean, yeah, Iris, we all know Iris at the end of the movie, she goes back. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the movie, shame on you. The movie was made a long time ago. But we all know at the end of the movie, I'll just say that she's safe. And but the whole meaning that he threw in there was that this character was the one that needed the saving. He had the post-traumatic stress disorder. He was the guy who was the ticking time bomb all throughout the movie. And even at the end of the movie now, of course, this has been hotly debated in this movie. You could read people that say Travis died at the end of the movie after the shootout or whatever. It's completely untrue. If you talk to all the key, I'd like to talk to him too. But if you read up on these interviews or you read the books that these folks have written, you're talking about basically the three main people who starred in the movie or who were involved with the movie: the director, Martin Scorsese, Paul Schrader, who wrote the screenplay, and Robert De Niro. All of them agree that Travis survives in the movie. In fact, here's a little tidbit that you might not know. For years and years and years, and I'm surprised he hasn't been able to get it accomplished, because pretty much everything the guy touches is gold. Robert De Niro, for decades, has wanted a sequel to Taxi Driver. I mean, Paul Schrader never wanted a part of it. He just figured he wrote that, and that was kind of the end of it. But Robert De Niro wants a sequel to this movie, and he wants to show what really happened to Travis. Now, at the end of Taxi Driver, of course, spoiler alert again, you should have seen the movie by now, but hopefully you'll see it again after I tell you about this. At the end of the movie, Travis does survive, but he's in the cab and he picks up Betsy and he gives it a free cab ride, and he just kind of doesn't say too much. But if you look at the end of that movie, the way he is just driving the car and then the taxi, and then all of a sudden you see his eyes kind of flash and he catches something in the mirror. The end of the movie, the meaning of that ending of that movie is he basically saw something else. This guy is, yeah, he's a hero. The city hailed him as a hero. He escaped, the government in a sense that he wanted to assassinate, Palantine, and he escaped that. But you definitely get the sense at the end of that movie that he is going on to do something else. It's not going to end happy for him. So I think that's what Robert De Niro really wants to hone in on. He wants to pick up this character and maybe much the way Sylvester Stallone did with the Rocky movies, kind of like put it to bed in a nice way. I know I would sign up to see that movie in a heartbeat. So I hope it happens. I hope De Niro, even though he's 79 years old at this point, has some pull to do that. I think it would be fabulous. It would be great just to see what happens to this character, because one of the best characters. And of course, the fact that the movie was filmed so much largely, and there was some scenes in Manhattan, but it was filmed in downtown Brooklyn. It was filmed in right close to the Brooklyn Bridge. There were so many scenes and so many things in Brooklyn that I thought were great with it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. Please give me a shout. Please give me a like. Let me know what you think. I think one of the most iconic movies of all time, and it's a throwback to that. Like I said, if you want to find out what Times Square looked like in the '70s, I mean, I know for me and my parents didn't even let us. I mean, of course we went. We never did anything crazy. We talked about it, but we of course went to Manhattan and we took the train, and can't believe we were able to do that at that point. But it was just an incredible, crazy, nutty time, and that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Who knows what's going to come up next on Brooklyn Secrets of the movies that were filmed in Brooklyn. All right, folks, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.